It is my privilege to serve you. Thank you so much. I do not take these moments for granted. I do not take this privilege lightly. This is truly a privilege, and it's my pleasure to serve you. By the time you're done with this series, you're going to be ahead of most people in this space, period. Because I created this for me. And I knew that I needed to share this with the rest of the world because it cost me 40 grand to get to this headspace, period. And I was going in the wrong direction. And I didn't even know it. So it was painful for me to get to this space, to this headspace. But now I can talk about it. But in any event, thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. Enjoy. Hey, so thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve you. So you want to know how to start a consulting business even as a beginner? Well, I'm going to go first and foremost, I'm going to go into the main part of that in the next video. But one of the things you're going to have to remember about consulting, or what you need to learn or solidify in that mind of yours about consulting, is this. And you have to learn how to trust your own wisdom. And your wisdom is going to, when you learn to trust and lean on your wisdom, all of a sudden, you're going to start to grow confident, bold. That's where your security is going to hide. And the more you lean and start trusting your wisdom, you're going to start feeling all those insecurities are going to start going away. Here's what I'm talking about this. When you learn to lean on your wisdom, you might be thinking, Rick, what are you talking about? Listen to your wisdom. Your wisdom is going to tell you stuff like this. There's always another way. Have you ever heard yourself say, there's always another way? There's always another way of looking at things. There's always another perspective of that you don't have. This is what I'm talking about. People out here on YouTube, for the most part, they're talking about consulting like there's only one model, right? And I'm sitting here listening to these people, I'm sitting there thinking, everyone assumes you're all talking about the same way of looking at consulting. No, 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 no. There are 9-figure models, 6-figure models, 7-figure models of consulting. The only thing that's different is your perspective and your self-image. Most people gravitate towards a 6-figure consulting model. That's all they know. That's all they've been taught. But until I get you into a room, until you and I are sitting down and talking, and I'm going to ask you something like this, well, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to do 6 figures a day or 6 figures a year? What is it that you're trying to do? And most people, when I hit you with something like that, all of a sudden you're going to be like, what do you mean 6 figures a day? And I tell you, there's 6-figure a day models out here. There's 6-figure a year models out here. What model of consulting are you talking about? Are you interested in? There's always a perspective that you don't have. First and foremost, see, people, there are those who, I don't have the book in front of me. See, there are those who are paying attention to what the pioneers have said, and then there are those who are blowing it off like it's insignificant. You had Steve Jobs out here trying to tell you, you've got a sexy phone right now that you're carrying around of a software consultant of all consultants. And the very first thing he told you was to think differently. Now, you can either think that that's some kind of catchphrase, motivational quote. You can completely dismiss it for what it really is. But for the most part, most people out here, they're treating it like it's insignificant. Dude just sat there and said, think differently than everyone else in your space. Now, there are those of us who actually practice what he talks about. And then there are those who don't. So when I tell you this, think differently about the space. That big, beautiful brain of yours is all powerful. And it's only going to point it in the direction you choose to point it. So every minute that you're not taking a step back, you're losing out on power, what it feels like what it means to feel strong, powerful. There's only the frame. There's the official term for it is called the psychology of minimization, and basically it's saying this: that mind of yours likes to minimize some things, maximize other things. And this is what I mean when I say You have to remember your wisdom. And there's certain things that need to be on the top of your mind. And this is how you stay safe in the consulting space. This is how you protect your emotions. This is how you stay confident. This is how you stay strong. And one of them, the big one, is this. I'm going to give it to you for free. It's this. The mind plays tricks, period. And the more you remember, keep that in your remembrance. Remember, when I say the word keep speaks to security, safe. It speaks to the psychology of being safe. I need to keep this. There's certain things that you need to keep on the top of your mind, and that's like number one. I need to keep this in mind. There's always another way of looking. And the minute you say that, all of a sudden you're remembering, oh yeah, there's always a perspective that you don't have. There's always a definition of consulting that you do not have and are not thinking about and have not been exposed to. Always. So the real question is, are you open to hearing a definition that's completely different than the one that you have now? That's the real question. Are you really open? Or are you just trying to confirm a definition that you're familiar with? And if that's the case, it doesn't really matter what I have for you. But the very first point I want to make to you is this. There's always another way. There's always another perspective that you don't have. That big, beautiful brain of yours is so powerful. Don't dismiss it. Don't treat it like it's just some kind of catchphrase. So hit the next video. And in that video, I'm going to talk more about one of the most important aspects of starting a consulting business, especially when you consider yourself a beginner. Talk to you soon. I'll see you in the next video.